Hey, welcome back. We're going to get it, and we're going to get it good. We're going to go in on the topics today, and glad that you're with us. And just enjoy the ride. We're going to sit back and provide you some good information that you can use, some fat to put on your back. So let us please you, let us serve you, and enjoy the ride. Our show today was brought to you today by theysource.com. They're the leaders in CMOS gels, CMOS capsules, herbs, and different spices. If you're looking to upgrade your health and the benefits of being healthy, please contact theysource.com. You can give them a call at 210-465-9005. Now, back to the show. All right, let's get in here and let's focus on the topic at hand today. Pretty sad topic. You have Jeannie Mai and young Jeezy. They've both been married a total of 2 years. Everybody wants to go in and they want to talk about, what is the backlash from this? How did this happen? There's a few things and a few reasons why things like this happen. And for one, it has to be a serious situation to where a man goes in and files for divorce, or a woman goes in and files for divorce. Either way, within 2 years, especially if you are you have a larger net worth than the person you're divorcing. It's hard to fathom. It must be a hard situation to the point that you want to involve the courts or deal into a situation of separation. It's a sad situation, however you look at it. Whether she was divorcing him or he's divorcing her, it's a sad situation where you got two folks who are over the age of 40, who were married for 2 years, who are now going into divorce proceedings. And I think the topic of everybody's discussion is her prenup, Jeezy's prenup. Is Mr. Jenkins himself going to be subject to a prenup that's challenged and end up losing in court? Well, she could take more money from him. I don't understand why that's a topic of discussion, but for some people that is. That is a major topic of discussion. And technically, it is an important topic of discussion, because if you work so hard for your money and there's an opportunity for someone to come and take the majority of your finances or take half of your finances from you, it's a big thing. That's a big topic. But what we have to realize is that, hey, people are people. Some people don't belong together. Some people, a marriage is forever. And some people don't belong together. Some people don't belong married. And once we start understanding that, then we can start accepting, it's okay for this person to maybe date this person for a little while and then move on. Because that's what life is. And, for the majority of the time, you are in love with that person at that moment. That was the right person for you at that moment. You might have outgrown each other. Just like, let me focus on what Jeezy said here. Jeezy said is that he's focusing on himself. He's too focused on who I'm becoming to focus on who's not coming with me. That is a very strong and that's an important phrase. That meant a lot. That says a lot coming from him. I'm focused on who I've become. Too focused on who's not, and I'm not focused on who's not coming with me. So he's worried about, his issue is who he's become. what he's become. And obviously, if he's divorcing her and he's leaving this comment or this phrase, that means that she wasn't to him one of the ones, like that phrase is just that they say everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. Everybody can't go with you. And there's some issues to scratch the surface on, that's under the surface because they just had children together. And it becomes a real sad situation when you have kids involved. But financially, these two people are financially well off enough to be able to support these kids and for those kids to have a decent life with the co-parenting situation with the parents. Many of you people who are concerned with their situation have a worse situation than them. It just makes you feel good to be able to talk about it. So, and it fails to amaze me to where you have so many people who's concerned about their situation, their marriage, their divorce, and you people can't even support yourselves. You're on your third baby mama or your third baby daddy, or your third or fourth marriage. But you're so tuned into what's going on with these individuals. And this is kind of sad. This is really sad. It's sad to see what we've become as a society here in the United States, to where we're focusing on these things, putting too much concern into things that can't affect you, that doesn't affect you, and not enough concern in things that do affect you. Now, let's just talk about the topic of the surface. Let's just talk about the surface of the situation, and how people, male or female, can protect yourself in regards to this. Now, I want to pinpoint this. All of these internet and YouTube lawyers that say this, and I'm not talking about people who are licensed by the bar. I'm talking about people who have no license, have never picked up a legal book in their life, couldn't even read a legal book if they did. All of these individuals have so much to say in regards to this, and you don't understand or know anything legal. You can't understand any legal jargon or anything that has to do with anything legal. So, my thing today is let's go with the topics that people are putting out already. So they're saying that Jeezy possibly, in his prenup, he had her sign that prenup the day before they got married. Now, that is a particular word for me. She signed the prenup the day before they got married. So, that doesn't mean he gave it to her the day before they got married. You have to pay attention very closely to different things. I'm a person of detail. I've been around the world. I've dated around the world before I was even 21, 22 years old. So I understand a lot. I've seen a lot. I've understand a lot. And one thing I can tell you, as you can see with this gray in this beard, that I'm not new to this, right? I've been around and I understand a few things. Now, the prenup was signed the day before the marriage. Doesn't mean he gave it to her the day before the marriage. Everybody's like, oh, he's going to get out of the... She's going to be able to fight. She's going to be able to fight the prenup. She's going to be able to win. She's going to be able to take him for everything. Maybe. Maybe not. And major question that I used to always ask people was, how do you know? How do you know? If you start asking people those questions, how do you know? How would you know? You know, you'll find out that the average person don't know nothing. You know, but everybody's boiled over this topic, whether or not that prenup is going to be effective for him. And by the likes of it, we seem to see that she signed it on the day before the wedding. That doesn't mean that he didn't give it to her in advance. Oh, she's gonna be able to get out of it because she could say that she was under duress or coercion. Not likely. I don't think Jeezy or his lawyer or his management team or his team of lawyers, which he's had to be lawyered up, attorneyed up for a while. I think they're very competent. They wouldn't have allowed this wedding to take place if he had just given her the prenup the day before the wedding, and it could have subject him to be able to be a subject of suits that will cause him to lose money financially. I don't think that this man is not dumb. He wasn't dumb in the streets, so called. So I don't think that this is a dumb man who has come from the streets to get him to where he is today. Without thinking and looking at what the possibility of things that could go wrong if he made certain decisions. So many people are you're thinking off the cuff, but you're not really putting any logic to what you're saying. There's no way possible that this man, with the thinking capacity that he has, and then the lawyers that he has, and the type of money that he has, would allow this to happen and leave himself open for these type of lawsuits and subject to whatever terms the state would allow for him in a divorce proceeding. I don't think so. But it shows you that marriage is a business. Everything you do in life is a business, and you have to have your business correct. You got to have your business together. And if you don't have your business together, you're subject to get taken. You're subject to get your money taken from you. But I think this man is smart enough to know, and I'm talking about males or females. You have to be smart enough to protect your assets to prevent people from coming into those assets. And that's why, we definitely really believe, and we definitely believe and we support people having trust, different things. Trust is you can put your money in different places. That trust, and technically you don't own what's in the trust. You control it, but you don't own it. And it's for the benefit of your children or somebody else. This prevents people from coming in and taking things from you, and we're a big advocate of those. We're definitely a big advocate of those. And we just wanted to come out and just let's just look at this thing for a minute here. Do you think in any way, fashion, that this man would have, with the type of money that he has, would have had a prenup, and his lawyers wouldn't looked over this in the right amount of time to say, hey, we don't think this is a good idea. This is maybe something that could come harm you later on in the future. I think this is a calculated man, and he made calculated decisions. And I think that his way of leaving this marriage, he looked at the possibilities of what would be, what could go wrong before he done this already. How could this affect him? So he looked at that before this even happened. Before he even filed for this, he already knew what his play was going to be. When you got guys with this kind of money, they're playing checkers. You guys are playing checkers, they're playing chess. These guys are moving 3 steps ahead. He seen this play coming. He knew what he was going to do based on however the relationship went. It didn't sit right with him, obviously, whatever may have happened. And he decided to make a move for whatever that could have been. It may have been in his best interest to leave that marriage before it's gotten to 3, 4, 5, 10 years. Maybe he seen it wasn't any, it wasn't worth keeping. And then to stay into something for so long, it's an opportunity that this person could gain alimony or any other type of financial settlement from him. Now, obviously, I don't think he's running from being able to, support his kids and anything like that. He's showing you want a co-parent. He's a decent parent. She even said he's a great father. So it's something in his eyes to say, hey, I want to be there with my family. I just can't be married to her. Now we got to look at the past history. What possibly could it have been to lead this man to go file a divorce? Everything looked like it was nice. Everything looked like it was fine on the surface. What could it have been to make this man go in and file a divorce? Now you have to look at this. Like I said, I've been around the world. Lived in other countries. Lived in other states. So I think I do have a little credence or a little credibility in regards to what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. I'm qualified to say what I'm saying. And at times, male and females, you have to realize that you do not need to be with a person who hasn't been with other people at your same status. If a person has dated other people and they have been way below the status that you are, you shouldn't date them people because it's not going to do anything. They don't know how to treat you. They don't have the qualifications to treat you the way you need to be treated. So you shouldn't waste your time and harm yourself by trying to date people who don't understand. And what I mean by understand, who don't know how to handle you at the level of respect that you need, or don't know how to give you the amount of space that you need. A lot of people are insecure. They're insecure to the point where you turn around and you want a little time to yourself. You can't get that. They think you with somebody else. Why? Because you have the capability to do so. Doesn't mean that you do this. I tell my partner all the time, just because you can do it, don't mean that you need to do it. And as a man, we have to think, as men and women, we have to think like that. Just because you can go out and talk to various people doesn't mean that you need to do that. Now, and I'm definitely not saying that he was going out talking to various people. I'm just saying sometimes people, and this is just speculation, sometimes people need space or they'll feel like they smothered. And it's known that she's have had bad attitudes with people that she was with before. Now, mind you, let's say she carrying that bad attitude situation on with Jeezy, on with Mr. Jenkins, when she would normally have thrown fits and talked crazy and done what she's done with other people that she been with, but now she gets somebody that is out her league. She can't talk down to him. He's out her league. But she takes that same sentiment in that relationship. It's not something you can do. Male or female, you can't do that. That person is not the same type of person that you was with before. That's why I say people who have dated individuals that are not on your level, you should not date them. If they're not at the same status as you, you shouldn't date those individuals. Them people are going to bring you down. They're going to make your life a living hell. Why? Not necessarily that they're doing it intentionally, is they just don't know how to treat you. They don't know the level of respect that you carry. And picture this. You have a person who's been around the world, who's seen so many people, who've dated so many people around the world. Have their choice around the world, male or female. You have your choice around the world. You come into an individual that you started dating who's never been outside their city, never been outside their state. And they want to treat you the same way that they treat somebody else that they've dated who've never been outside their city, never been outside their state, never been outside the country. That's impossible. It's not going to work. No matter how you see it, it's not going to work. In some cases, but we're not talking about some cases. We're talking about majority. We're not talking about 1% of individuals that may know how to change and may know how to treat the person that they with based on, and they appreciate them. We're not talking about that. We're talking about individuals who really don't understand. And that can cause your life to be a living hell when you don't have to put up with it. You don't have to put up with it at all. And because everybody else that they was with was at a class that was under them, or in a position that was under them, that they felt that was under them, they treated them a certain kind of way. But when you got a person who don't have to deal with that, they're not going to deal with that. And you're going to lose that individual quicker than you got them. I remember an old lady told me this one time. She say, young man, you're going to lose that woman just how you got her. I always remember that. You're going to lose a woman the way you got her. And the thing goes, showed to be true. Males or females, realize you are going to lose the individual that you with the way that you got them. If it doesn't last, you're going to lose them the way that you got them. And that's one thing that old lady showed me. And she told me, I didn't even know this lady. This lady told me this years ago when I was young, you know. And it stood to be true. You know, if you look at this, let's focus on this on this situation here. This man said, I'm too focused on who I'm becoming to focus on who's not coming with me. That says a lot, man. That says a lot, man. That basically says, hey, you can't touch me. You can't hurt me. I'm not concerned. I'm on another road. That says a lot. It sounds like a person who's been through something. I'm too focused on who I'm becoming to focus on who's not coming with me. Wow. Imagine that. You know, imagine that. Now, the documentary father stated that Mr. Jenkins wanted to share joint custody, legal custody of their daughters. He's a father of 2 other children as well. You know, from a previous relationship. By the words of Jeannie Mai, Jeezy is a great father. And I know you guys don't want to hear that. You ladies and gentlemen don't want to hear that. But yes, there's a lot of black men who are great fathers. A lot of black women who are great mothers. There's a lot of out here who are great parents. A lot of people who are great parents. You know, and we don't give the great parents enough credibility, enough praise for being great parents. That is very important. Now, really, in regards to the children, don't need to praise you because that's something that you're supposed to do. But we've gotten into our society right now to where being a great parent is kind of rare. Being a great husband is rare. Being a great wife is rare. You know, and I think it just boils down to the point that people not knowing who or what they are getting with. You got to know your spouse. You got to know the person that you're with. You got to know that some things are just not going to fly with this individual, you know. And if you want to keep this person, you need to change in certain ways that's going to benefit you and them. It's a team. This is a team player. This is a team game. You don't advance to the next level being an individual in a marriage. You know, if you're the breadwinner, you're going out, doing all the work, and you're coming home male or female, have dinner cooked for them, have a clean house for them. Do these things. Play your position. You have a position to play too. Everybody has a team. Everybody in a marriage is a team, and everybody has a position to play. And each person, no matter what they do in that marriage, needs to play their position to the best. They need to be the best at their position. So if you guys are out fighting the life together, economically, financially, you guys fight as warriors together. To be successful, to beat the opposition. If there's one person that's out fighting, you be the best at fighting. The other person who's home, you be the best at taking care of the home. Providing good food that's beneficial and healthy for the family. Not just cooking hot dogs and weenies and stuff like that and noodles. Everybody has a position to play, and we all need to come together and play those positions good. Or you might find yourself by yourself, And those of us who like to be married, marriage is a good thing. I've been married 20-something years, And for a person like me, people would think that that's impossible. I dated a lot of people in my life when I was younger. I hoped certain situations would have worked out, but they didn't. And the only thing I can say is just that was that person for me at that time. And through the situations that I had with them, I learned how to provide a give and take situation in a marriage. I didn't just give up so easily like I've done before, And it's a position when everybody has to play the position. Marriage is not easy. It's not easy being married. You have to, like I say, you have to give and you have to take a lot of times. And everything don't go your way all the time. Sometimes you just realize like, hey, this is not worth arguing about. I'm gonna just keep it moving, keep pushing, and maybe I'll win the next argument. So you have to realize that in a marriage, it's not easy. In a relationship, it's not easy. But let alone a marriage, because somebody can come in and you allow them in. They can come in and they can take more than what they would have ever had by themselves. And in a marriage, you have to be prepared for situations like that, because some people are out to just really get people. There's people who are really just want to be together, and sometimes it doesn't work. And you have to be smart enough to say, hey, you cut your losses when you don't see that there's going to be a possibility for you guys to grow. Sometimes you got to cut your losses real fast and keep moving. You can't cry over the spoiled milk. You can't look back. You can't worry about what's happening over here, what's happening over there, what's going to happen if this happens. Sometimes, if you feel it's a no-win situation, you got to cut your losses and keep moving. The hell with who gives it, who cares, or what the hell what anybody's going to say about it. Now, I will say this. Sometimes marriages are something to fight for. And what I mean fight for, I don't mean physically fight for. What I mean is sometimes these things are worth keeping. Sometimes it's not worth you being right the majority of the time. Sometimes you have to come to a common ground on something. And it has to be it has to be like a graceful dance, that you guys are, you're balancing that thing of equality together, and you guys have a common goal in mind, and you're fighting towards that common goal to make you and your family and your household beneficial and very and successful, and your kids successful. Your kids to grow up. Now there's studies that's out here. You don't have to take it from me. You can go look this up. It's shown that children that are in a 2-parent party household are more successful than children that are in a 1-party parent household. There's studies out here that say that. So you can look up the studies and the statistics yourself. And a lot of times, instead of us just giving up on certain situations, we have to realize, like, hey, there's kids involved. If it's not an abusive situation, sometimes you need to tough it out for your kids, to give your kids a chance. Because at the end of the day, it's about the kids. When you have kids, it's about your kids. What is in the best benefit of the kids? At ages 45, 46, hey, if it's not so bad, situation's not so bad, or the person's not abusive, sometimes it may be worth sticking it out for your kids. Because look at it, 45, 46, half your life is gone. Who are you living for now? You living for you, or you living for your kids? And some people look at it differently. Some people say, hey, I'm 40-something years old. I've lived for my kids when I was younger. I'm living for me now. And then you have those that say, hey, I've gotten older. I'm living for my kids. I'm doing this for my kids. This is what I do this for. I want to see them in a better position than what I was when I grew up. Some people don't understand that. You have a lot of selfish people who just live for themselves. And when you are in an environment and you come from an environment that it's not leading to it's not something that everybody in that environment leads them to success. So sometimes you just live more for your kids to give them a better start and a head start based on how you lived in your past. You want them to have a better start than you did. So you make the necessary changes, that you will make, and the necessary sacrifices to make sure that they are a lot better off than you. So those are the type of people that I feel that I'm more associated to, is people who look out more for their kids. Now, sometimes you got some badass kids out here. These kids don't give a damn about their parents, or they don't give a damn about what you do for them. You got some kids out here like that. But I'm more prone to believe if you show or nurture your kids in a way of love, they'll continuously and always show you love back. And I'm proud to be the father and have children that I have. I feel that I am gifted to be able to have, or blessed by God to be able to have those type of children, and I really love my children. And I think being a dad is one of the best things in the world. That's technically, to me, the best thing in the world that I can be is a father. And sometimes many people, they may not look at it that way. They may look at it at a point as they don't give a damn about nothing but them. And those are the type of people that's, sometimes they leave this earth. They don't leave nothing behind for the ones that came after them. And you have individuals like that. But the whole thing is you gotta know who you're married to. You gotta know the people that you've dated. You gotta understand the people that they've dated. So you'll know, hey, this person, they ain't used to having people like me. They ain't used to having nobody like me. They used to having somebody who lucky to be with that individual. They ain't had nobody that say, I can walk out here today and catch me however many I want. They haven't had that opportunity to be with people that have that type of luxury in regards to dealing with people. Now, I want to say this too. As I done got older, I realized, like Tupac said something that stuck with me for the rest of my life, He said sometimes your best gift is your worst curse. That man said, sometimes your best gift is your worst curse. And I say that to say this, just like I said, people may not be with people who are fortunate to be able to be with an individual who can go out and catch the other persons, as to get into dating relationships at their will. They may not be fortunate enough to do that. But just like Tupac said, sometimes your best gift is your worst curse. You know? And you have to understand that when you're dealing with relationships. You know, and I want to say this. I grew up in a time where the people, you can say OGs or the people that was older than me, these individuals fed us some false things in life. They made it seem like it was cool to be a player. Yeah, it's cool to be a player. That's what you got to be, man. You got to have this woman, that woman, that woman, that woman. It's cool. No, it's not. Look at all the guys who's had all these women and all this and that. Majority of them are dying and drowning in child support. Been divorced 3 times. Every woman, every wife is getting alimony. Every husband's getting alimony. You know? But a lot of these guys that told us these things, they fed us a false sense of they fed us a false sense of security. In that regards, we were insecure. We needed somebody to make us feel like we was doing something. And that's not how life is. That's not how life is. You don't need an individual. You don't need to have this woman, this man, this person, that person, in order to make yourself feel like that you're doing something or you worth some value. You shouldn't look at your value based on all these things you can catch. You know? Because in life, especially, you know, if you're a person who's used to catching people, there's a lot of people you may catch that you can't get rid of. You can't get rid of these people. These people become psychos and might end up causing your life to be put you in a situation to where you can't be there for your mother. You can't be there for your father. You can't be there for your sisters, your siblings. You can't be there for them because something drastic didn't happen in your life. You know? We got to be more mindful on the people that we date and the people that we get with. And, you know, I want to say that these individuals, they taught us the game wrong. They taught us things wrong. And sometimes as grown adults, we need to accept the facts like, hey, we was taught wrong. Whoever taught you, you need to accept that fact. They taught you wrong. You know? And then you need to move on from there and try to be a better person. And at the end of the day, you know, you can look at these guys around who's going around catching, yeah, man, I'm cool, man. I got this girl, that girl, man. I'm living it up, baby. I got this, I got that. At the end of the day, that person is secure within themselves. It makes them feel good so they can have all these persons, this person, that person. What does that mean at the end of the day? It means nothing. Means absolutely nothing. You think you a player, but you ain't a player. You got played. You think you a player. That girl played on you. She wanted you. She told you what she needed to tell you. Matter of fact, let me tell you one thing. A female told me one time, she said you could get anything from a man if you know how to stroke his ego. I sat back and I thought about that. I said, whoa, man, this girl is dangerous. You can get anything from a man if you know how to stroke his ego. Man, you know, and those who understand that portion of the game, they go a lot farther in their relationships. Some of them don't. Some of them go in and out of relationships, you know, because they're playing the game. And when you find a good marriage, your spouse can be a great thing, greatest thing come from heaven, greatest helpmate come from heaven. or it could be the worst thing that happened to you. It could be something that allow you to live in a prison of hell for the rest of your life. And you have to be more mindful and more wise on individuals that you choosing to be with. You know. So we just want to touch bases on this Jeezy thing. Talk with you long enough. But everybody's talking about how the prenup could be stopped. My thing was to bring some light to the situation. Say, hey, look, go only off the facts that you know. The only fact that you do know is that she signed it the day before the wedding. But you don't know when she got it. You know? So in the world out here, don't be so prone to believe the speculation. Speculation is going to be out here. But go off of facts. Go off of facts. And sometimes you should be so caught up in your life, what they doing shouldn't even affect you or shouldn't even matter to you. Get your relationship right. Get your kids right. Take care of your baby father. Take care of your baby mother. Take care of your husband. Take care of your wife. Take care of your kids. Take care of your community. Love your elders. Be thankful to your ancestors. We need to develop some more pride back into this community. We definitely need to develop some more pride in this community. Our grandparents were very powerful people, and they didn't have much. So we definitely need to gain that back. We need to get that back. We done turned ourselves into some you know, we've turned ourselves into some bad people. There's good black excellence out here. And we need to start striving a lot more to those things that are going to be beneficial to us. And less concerned on things that don't affect us. Like the guy, like the old guys say, the OG diggity. When you got one finger pointed at somebody, you got three pointed back at you. And that's the truth, man. So, you know, you take care, love yourself, love your people, be effective. Gather as much information as you can. And don't just gather that information, execute. The biggest problem in black folks' lives is that there's so much information available to you, but we don't execute. We need to start executing, and we'll put ourselves in a better situation. Till next time, peace.